Hello. I like these kind of clocks. This is a Big Ben. They're wind up. They're old. I collect them. Well, I got a few of them. Something about a wind up clock. Nothing to do with tarot cards. Nothing to do with tarot cards. I wanted to talk about tarot card meanings and how I approach when I teach and how I write about how you use them. And if you're going to be a reader, there's a difference. If you want to learn the tarot and you want to study metaphysical concepts and principles, universal principles through the tarot, that's different than reading tarot cards. And so a lot of sources, when you're reading about tarot cards, will go into that stuff. And here you just want to be a reader. You just want to be able to read tarot cards. And that makes a lot of confusion to it. But if you just want to read tarot cards, I think there's better ways to study metaphysics than tarot cards. So I don't do that. But if you did want to, you can. There's information out there. But you just want to learn how to read them. That's different. And so I thought I would go over that. I have a couple of videos out there now. If you go to my playlist, you'll see probably two of the most popular YouTubes I have is Tarot Card Meanings Part 1, the Minor Arcana, and Tarot Card Meanings Part 2, the Major Arcana. And I go into the card meanings there. But I'm going to talk about them here today. In those videos, I have graphs showing the cards and how to understand them. So I thought I'd start out with the minor arcana and just talk about them a little bit. 56 minor arcana versus 22 major arcana. You think that the minor arcana would be more to learn, but really the minor arcana are easier to learn than the major arcana. At least with my approach, they are. And this is the way I read, and this is the way I teach. And I've been a successful reader for many years. And you'll have an infinite amount of meaning to be accessed to with those cards this way. It also allows you to go and fine tune it even further if you wanted to in a different approach without having to go back and retrace your steps in some way. So, because we all end up reading differently from each other anyway. And that's ultimately what you're going to be doing. So the minor arcana, 56 cards. There's 4 suits, ace through 10, and 4 court cards. So it's 14 cards per suit. But I don't use the suit. So to me, all the aces are common, regardless of the suit. All the knights are common, the sixes, and so on. And if you wanted to throw the suit in there later, I guess you could. I use the 4 suits as the 4 functions of consciousness. So swords represent thought, cups represent emotion. The wands represent your spirit, your soul, what moves you as a person. And pentacles represent your physical world, your material world. So if you saw a lot of pentacles in your reading, you say, well, you could think, well, is there something I could be looking into as far as your material world, as far as this reading goes? And that's about as far as I take the suit in my readings. I also use keywords for meanings. If anybody's bought my books, you'll see that I have keywords for the meaning of the card. What keywords allow you to fan out into other meanings that are coming directly from you, that still represent the same as the keyword, only worded differently or a different term or a different word. An example of that would be the moon card with me represents mysterious paths. So that could be something that you just got thrown into here. You don't know what you're doing. It could be something that's just uncharted territory. It could be something you're intrigued about, but never been involved with before. You're going down some path. You don't really know where you're going to end up with this. So all that's sort of paints a picture in a lot of various ways here with just mysterious paths. Depending on the reading and what you're trying to fit that card into and what the circumstances you're looking into, it allows you to fit that card easily in some meaningful way to your reading. Another example might be the knights. Knights represent action to me. One word, action. Again, regardless of the suit. So this could be looked at as taking initiative, making the first move, maybe actions being taken against you that you have to respond in some way. Maybe you're taking action. It's just action. And so it really depends on how you want to look at it. This allows you to see the cards through your own eyes instead of memorizing what I'm saying the cards mean. And that's really what you need to do as a reader. And keywords allows you to see a better grip of what that card means in some way in your own thinking. And that's what I like about it. So an easy way to remember this now. So basically what you have with the minor arcana are 14 definitions, ace through 10 and 4 court cards. Regardless of the suit, it doesn't make any difference. All aces mean the same thing. All knights mean the same thing. All sixes mean the same thing. So here's how I like to teach those meanings. We'll start with the aces. We'll go through ace through 10, and then we'll look into the court cards. But ace through 10, aces stand for a new idea, a new concept, a new situation, something new here that you're looking into, or something new that you've been involved with in some way. It's affecting you. It could be a new idea. And twos stand for choice. Twos represent choice. So aces stand for a new idea, a new situation, new concept, however you want to look at it, something new. And so you have this new idea, this new situation. If you decide to move on it, that's what the twos are. After the aces comes the twos. Twos stand for choice. If I decide to move on this and take this situation further, then I've made a choice. That's the twos. And if I did make a choice to move forward with this, comes the threes next. And threes are creativity. And what we do with this situation now is we create it. We don't know what we're doing with it. We're going to shape it. We're going to explore it. We're going to know about it. We're going to learn about it. We're going to find all sorts of things about this. And we're going to create this whole situation. The threes, creativity. After the threes comes stability. Fours. After it's created, what happens then? It becomes stable, becomes routine, it becomes predictable. Fours represent stability. Again, it's dependable, predictable. You know what it is. You know, you can count on it now. It's routine, it's predictable, stable, nothing's changing. And after the fours comes the fives. Fives are change. And if you look at most tarot decks, you'll see that the fives look kind of disturbing. There's a lot of disruption in the fives because what happens here is if things are stable with the fours, then what can happen after that is something changes and that causes a disruption. So fives are a disruption, a change of some type. A challenge to the situation now. Any type of situation you have, you're going to have challenges to it. Some of them are going to be big, some are going to be small, but they're challenges. Something's changed. Changes could also be good things. So maybe it's even more stable. Maybe after a while, you don't want stability. You want to change something. I mean, this has worked for a while, but I'm going to change it. I want to make it better now. So you make a change. So you change the stable fours with the fives. After you've changed it or overcome that change successfully, you have the sixes, and that's overcoming obstacles. Sixes are defined as overcoming obstacles. You've taken on this change and you've resolved it. You've ironed it out. You smoothed it out. You've gotten through it somehow. Hook or crook, you've gotten through it. You've made adjustments in your life with this situation, and you've gotten through this. Sixes. And after you've done that, you have the sevens. Sevens are confidence. So after you've gone through the changes and challenges of the sixes, you do gain more confidence. You have more experience now in this type of thing. You know how to handle things in ways that maybe something unexpected came up, but you know how to handle it now. You become more capable. And this makes you more confident in the situation. We've gotten through this, or you've gotten through it, and you've become more confident now because you're stronger for it. You've learned from it. So after the sevens, confidence of the sevens, comes the eights. Eights are advancement. Now what we can do with this situation or our life in some way with this thing we've gone into, and we've learned from it, now we advance and we move forward. We advance. We find what's missing and we fine tune it even better. We make it better. We learn more about it. And so we advance. Progress in this. And after the eights comes the nines. Nines are attainment. After we've advanced enough, we've attained it. We've attained the ultimate in this situation. And we're just enjoying the situation for what it is now. It's perfect. Can't get any better. We've made changes. We've gone through challenges. We've created it. We understand it very well. We're very confident. We believe in it. And we've advanced to even make it better. And now we're just enjoying the ride. So nines are nice. And all things come to an end. Something to keep in mind. No matter how good it is, it's going to be a time where it's over. The tens. Tens are completion. And what's nice about a completion is you can look back and say, look at what we did here. And you have memories, you have a sense of pride that you've accomplished something, or you did this, and it's a wonderful thing. So tens could be very nice, and completions could be very nice. All things come to a completion. And it's something to remember while you're going through this journey. So no matter what the situation is, first you get the idea to do it. You want aces. Then if you choose to do it with the twos, you move forward and you create it with the threes. After it's created, you stabilize it with the fours. Become stable. You got it all set up now. Nothing can happen but change after that. And things do change. Nothing ever stays the same. So there's going to be challenges, there's going to be disruptions, there's going to be changes. That's the fives. And those are things that are usually needs your attention in some way to make adjustments. And that's what the sixes are. You overcome these changes with the sixes. After you've done that, you gain more confidence in yourself and end the situation. with the sevens. And after that, you move forward and advance with the eights to even more than what was before. And after that, you have attainment, the nines. And after that is a completion, the tens. And what's nice about that type of, and if you look at the cards, like especially like in the Rider-Waite deck, you look at those images on those cards, you'll see these keywords in there. Look at the fives, you see the disruption, the changes. Look at the fours, look how stable they look. Threes are a lot of creativity in there, a lot of things going on with creativity. And twos look like a choice. There's a duality going on here of some type. Two swords, two people, two something, two staffs. Which one here? And that's how that works. As far as the court cards go, it's just four meanings. There's four court cards: page, knight, queen, and king. Pages stand for a new direction, new opportunity, something, new situation. So they're very similar to the aces. You're new at this. You're a rookie at it. You're still wet behind the ears here with this. And it's good to keep in mind with the pages. And again, knights are action, taking action. Queens are patience and understanding. The more you understand something, the more patience you're going to have with it. The more you're going to be able to convince others and be influential with other people. Show them how to look at this. Very wise moves with the queen. Patience and understanding. A time for that. And kings are knowledge. A time for gaining information or use the information you have or something to do with knowledge. And that's how I look at the minor arcana. So 14 keywords. Write them down, put them on something. And I used to give these out to my classroom. It's just keywords of all the cards right on the backs, and minor arcana and major arcana on the. I don't we haven't been doing any classes lately because of COVID, but they make a nice bookmark too. If you buy my cards, Carol Marseille by Patishi, if you buy this deck, I do have those cards, the same thing. I have a little card in there showing in that deck, showing the meanings of the cards, front and back. Again, major and minor comes in handy, and people like that. So what I really like about with the minor arcana and those 10 positions, ace through 10, is anybody sitting across from you getting a reading is in one of those 10 positions. Anything you do, you are in one of those 10 positions. You either got a new idea with an ace, or you're choosing which way to go. You're on the fence with it. I don't know if I should do this or not with the twos. Maybe you're in the middle of doing it, creating it with the threes. Maybe you're trying to stabilize it with the fours. Maybe something's changed with it and there's a disruption now, or a change that you want to make in the fives. Maybe you're trying to overcome a change or challenge, and that this situation, something arose in the sixes. There's confidence going to be gained from overcoming those obstacles and taking those challenges on, believing more in it. With the sevens, you're going to advance forward with the eights. You're going to attain it with the nines, and you're going to complete it with the tens. So anybody who sits across from you is usually in one of those 10 positions. They usually are not in the 9 position, because that's perfect situation, and they don't need a reading. They're usually in the fives, and they want to make a change, or there is a change that they got to deal with. or they're in the fours and they're bored to death with the situation. It's too stable. You'll see a trend with that. So you know where they've been and you know where they're going. They've been through ace through 3 or 4, and they're going to be going through 6 through 10 down the road. And that's just the way it always works. And fine tuning it in the reading will be, that will help you fine tune that reading. Now, the you'll have exceptions to that. Maybe you got somebody who just retired, who's in the 10s, completion, want to know what to do. You start another ace, you know, but and they're going to, that's what they will do. But so it becomes helpful to know that, especially when you see those cards in a spread. Now, the major arcana is a little different. The major arcana has 22 cards, so it's 8 more cards than any one of the suits of the minors. Minors have 14 each suit. Now you have 22. And there's no rhyme or reason to those 22 cards, like you have with the ace through 10 of the minors, making it easy to understand them. So a good way to learn the majors is to take the 22 cards, the fool is number 0. They're numbered 0 through 21 too. That makes it confusing. Not 1 through 22, but 0 through 21. So the fool is number 0. It's like a wild card there. Just take that, put it off to the side, and take cards number 1 through 7 and put them in a row on the table, left to right, 1 through 7. And down below that row, take 8 through 14 below that, left to right. And then below that row, 15 through 21 below them, left to right. And if you could take a snapshot of that or print out a diagram showing that, I was supposed to do that and have it on my website. And I will do that. I will do that. And you can just download it and print it out. So I'll do that soon. Because it's really handy to have, and it helps you memorize those cards. It reminds me of the LOCI system, I think it's called, where placement helps you memorize what's going on. If you know that the temperance card is the last card in the second row, it helps you remember what it is. Or if you know the emperor card is the 4th card on the first row, you know helps you know what that card meaning is about. Devil's first card in the 3rd row helps you know what that meaning is about. It just helps your memory kick in on it. So it's a good way to learn the major arcana is by looking at them in that pattern. Again, I use keywords though for the majors, just like the minors. Keywords are very important to me. I think it's the best way to learn meaning, because you'll end up adding to those keywords, and they all mean the same thing, but their meaning you just can't put into words. But keywords help describe it. It describes card meanings are the essence of the card, not a meaning like a dictionary type of meaning, but the energy that card has. So the fool is just a carefree, come what may type of energy, not worried about repercussions, not worried about what's going to happen, just living for the moment, no cares, no responsibility, not taking any responsibility, usually very naive situation, don't know what you're doing. Lots of times to try something new, you have to have the attitude of the fool. I don't care if I fail. I want to try it. They say that the person that invented the sailing ship also invented the shipwreck. So you can't be afraid to make mistakes. That's the energy of the fool. New beginnings, naive, don't know where you're going. Come what may, I don't care. I'm just going to try it anyway. And the hell with what happens. And Sometimes it's a good attitude to have. Sometimes it's a bad attitude to have. But now we go into the diagrams of 1 through 7 and 8 through 14 and 15 through 21. The first card is Magician, number 1. The Magician is the opposite of the Fool. Very careful. Everything's thought out. Everything's planned. Everything known exactly how to do things to a T. Perfected. Knows exactly what they're going to do before they do it. And even tells you what they're going to do before they do it. Fool, you don't know what he's going to do. Magician, he tells you what he's going to do, and then he does it, or she does it. And it's perfection. It's mastership. I have mastership for the Magician. You could also just put consciousness. You have to be very conscious to have that kind of energy. Very aware with the Magician. Perfection. Influence. If you perfect something and you're doing it, you're very influential on other people. They'll be in awe with what you did. So the energy of the Magician is very impressive energy. And if it's nice, if you have that in your reading, it's like, I have to perfect this before I move forward. I have to make sure I know what I'm doing. Or maybe you have it as a talent. You know something very well and you can move forward because you already have this under your belt. You can see how the energy could change, tilt a little bit here and there with these cards as you're using them. Mastership, consciousness, Magician. The High Priestess is number 2. Here I have subconscious. I also have mystery, hidden knowledge, secretive, unattainable, mystery. It's a factor. Something we have to deal with, or something we have to reveal that's hidden right now, something we're searching for, we have to find out answers to it. An unknown factor, a variable we don't know anything about. These are ways that card can be interpreted. One of many ways it can be interpreted. But it's easy to do if you have an idea that's not a distinct definition, but more of a key word like that. It opens up a range of meaning the card can have in ways that I think are very useful. Next, we have the Empress. And here I have creativity, which by coincidence just happens to be the same as the 3s in the minor arcana. So creativity. When the subconscious and the conscious come together, Magician and the High Priestess, conscious, subconscious. When those two blend together, new ideas come alive. You create a lot when it comes from another part of your mind and it becomes conscious to you. Maybe you had a revelation in a dream and you remembered the dream. Those two working together. So creativity, nurturing, growing, other words that would fit the Empress card. Abundance. After the Empress card, we have number 4, the Emperor. The Emperor is the builder. Because once you have the subconscious and the conscious come together with the Magician and the High Priestess, and you have the energy of the creativity, because these two came together, you got this brainstorm idea with the Empress, this creative energy. Now you can manifest it into a reality. So manifesting ideas into realities, the builder is the Emperor. Emperor is also very influential, a leader, leadership, persuasive, in a position that can make decisions. You don't have to worry about other people. These are other aspects the emperor can be. Next, we have the Hierophant, number 5. And we've always had a connection with a higher power. We always known there's a higher power of something. We might not know what it is, and we look for guidance from it. And that's usually what's shown in that card. I like to think as the Hierophant as just guidance. This could be any kind of guidance, not just spiritual guidance, but any kind of guidance. You could be talking to a tax consultant. That's guidance. So it doesn't have to be something way out there. That's another thing I think with the majors is important to keep in mind. They're usually looked at as these universal principles and deep energy, and we have to water them down to our everyday concerns when we're doing a reading. So it's not so much getting in touch with our higher self or praying to God or something. It's looking for guidance. The builder, the emperor, could be building a new garage. It doesn't have to be something universal. You got to water it down to everyday concerns that people look into as a reader. And it's not hard to do. After the Hierophant, number 5, we have number 6, the Lovers. As the Lovers I have is duality. Negative and positive, magnetism. Two different energies going at once here, setting things in motion. This could be teamwork. This could be a need to have an opposite to make things spark. The Marseille deck used to be just the Lover, and it was considered choice. And you could look at it that way too. You could say, okay, well, we're going to make a choice here. If you want it, you could put that in there. But I'd like to think of the as the Lovers as a duality that causes some type of spark, emotion, or motion. That's a better way to put it, not emotion, motion itself. Get things moving, gets the ball rolling here. And an important part of that is duality. After the Lovers, we have the Chariot, number 7. Last card on the first row. Chariot, I have as an identity. I also have confidence, ability, experience. Knowing who you really are puts you a lot more in control of things. You know what you can do, what you can't do, and you feel confident about what you're able to do. Moving forward in an unstoppable way. If you are the Chariot and you know yourself, you are able to control the reins of that chariot. But you better know who you are and what your capabilities are before you grab hold of those reins. Otherwise, you might not have control of what you're driving there. That's the first row. Second row. Most decks now start with the Strength card, number 8. Marseille starts with Justice. We're going to go with the Marseille, with the Rider-Waite version, newer look at it, which is Strength. And I look at strength as inner strength, willpower, knowing what you should do sometimes is a conflict with what you want to do. And the ability to have the willpower to do what's right in the long run is a wise choice. So willpower, inner strength. Number 8. Number 9 is the hermit. And I see the hermit as inner searching, soul searching. That's why it's a hermit. Soul searching, you can't take somebody with you on that journey. It's all within you. So your quest is a lone one. You're alone, you're isolated. And people might be around, but really, you're the ones going to be making a decision. Right? The hermit. And if you look deep, you'll find the right answers. The knowledge is there. Hermit knows that. Next, we have 10. It's the wheel. I see the wheel as evolution, evolvement, evolving. Things moving forward. Things evolve. Things change. They're never going to be like they were. But usually they'll be better. They'll be better. The wheel. Then we have 11, justice. Justice I look as universal truth. What's real? Laws of nature. What's going to happen here? If you do this, this is what's going to happen. Now we have laws in place here in our world, in our society. You could relate that to if you see that in a reading where it fits. But I like to look at justice deeper, for the most part, as not so much that type of justice as truth. Make sure that the truth is in place and being recognized, and your actions are being done based on truth. Not what you want to believe, but what is real. Truth, justice. Next, we have 12, the hangman. I see the hangman as sacrifice. Lots of times, if you feel something or you believe in something and people don't understand that and you still feel it's right, lots of times it becomes very challenging for a while until you show people that you are right. Then they look at you and say, oh, okay. In the meantime, you have to deal with that challenge. Hangman could also be seen as seeing things from another point of view, which is basically the same thing. Others see it differently. You're in a different position. But a hangman is also a good example of how things can look. Well, you can see that as limbo. You can't go anywhere here. The hangman. Well, lots of times, if you believe in something and other people are fighting you against you, you are stuck until you can make changes with getting more cooperation. It's having them see your side of things. The hangman, the challenge there. Number 12. Number 13, death. Death I see as harvest, reaping what you sow. Transition, usually a major one. a significant transition. And it's a cleansing too. I said, clearing the field, reaping what you sow, getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. You can look at the hangman and say, I'm cleaning house, getting all new furniture. Transition. And last on the 14th card on the second row is temperance. Temperance I have as inspiration. It's an angel pouring water from one urn to another. Angels inspire us. They guide us and they inspire us. They put wind in our sails. And inspiration is a very powerful thing. If you're inspired about what you're doing, I don't care how discouraged you become, you're not going to give up on it. So if truth is there from the justice and you're inspired, and it's just a matter of convincing people, if you're in that hangman situation, stick to your guns. Inspiration is very powerful. A good example of that, I had one person that I've taught in the past, just had a phone conversation with that person. A good example of the inspiration and how power it has is they're going through the situation, the whole procedure of establishing as a card reader. And it doesn't happen overnight, so you got to be patient with it. They're going through all the right steps. But it's easy to get discouraged with things. So you get discouraged and say, well, this isn't for me. And then something draws you back to it again. And that's what that person said to me. He said, I put it away but something just keeps drawing me back to the cards. I can't explain it. And I said, that's your inspiration. That's what inspiration is. If you got that inspiration, you're gonna eventually succeed with it. If you're not inspired about what you're doing, you're gonna say, well, no, this didn't work. I'm gonna move on to something else. Maybe I'll become a dental assistant or something. So inspiration, it's not a matter of being successful. Being successful is how you can grade yourself, if you want to look at it that way. But if you are inspired to do something, you're not going to care. You're just going to want to do it. And don't judge yourself, just enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. And eventually, opportunities will come. Inspiration. Last row, first card, number 15, the devil. Devil to me is procrastination, false truths, false fears, denial, fooling yourself. Dependency, low self-esteem. That's how I see the devil. We're all vulnerable to those things. And sometimes we have to fight them and overcome them. Next, we have the tower. Number 16. The tower, to me, is rude awakenings. It's like a jolt. It's like, oh my gosh, okay. And a clear understanding of what you're doing or what you're involved in. And it could be a sudden change a real disruption. Everything's been changed, rearranged. You could prepare for that. Prepare for the big storm before it comes. Tower, disruption. Rude awakening. So hold on to your socks because it's going to happen. Next, we have the star card. Star card, I see it as direction. North Star, looking at the star, that's where I'm going. I got to go there. I got to go this way. I'm going this way. So it's a matter of seeing the direction. You got to go. Looking for direction. Guidance, which is like the Hierophant, but finding guidance within yourself, looking where I'm at, getting my bearings here. Next, we have the moon card, mysterious paths. I like where I'm going, or maybe I like where I'm going, but I don't really know where it's going to end. That's mysterious. I don't know where I'm headed, but I want to go down this path here. I'm curious this way. I'm interested in this. The moon. Mysterious. Be careful of illusion. Be sure-footed on that path. It's dark. So make sure you got all your ducks in a row. The moon doesn't give off light, it reflects it. Mysterious path, uncharted territory. Stay sure-footed. Next, we have the sun, number 19. The sun is a nurturing situation, a nurturing space you're in. Brightness, light, energy, life. Good situation. Good place. Good place to be. Growth. Nurturing. Total understanding. A good position to be in. Then we have judgment. Number 20. Judgment. Judgment I have is a new awareness, a new understanding of things you didn't see before. It's like, oh yeah, now I got it. So what you're seeing right now, you're going to understand differently when the judgment happens. It'll be a revelation. Keep moving on this path, and that'll happen to you. Judgment. And last 21st card, last card, bottom row, the world. To me, the world is perfect harmony, peace and harmony. That's what I have for that. Just a good place to be and a very happy energy there. Your path is basically complete. You have nowhere else to go, but moving forward with in which ways you want to go. It's a very happy card. And you've done it. You've done a good job to get there. So that's how I see the majors. And again, with the keywords, you're going to come up with all sorts of other keywords coming around them. My books, Bare Bones Tarot, and the Essential Tarot, and even Radical Tarot. I have keywords mapping out from the main keyword for each card going in different directions on the page, showing all sorts of other keywords that basically mean the same thing to the essence of that card. And I think that's why keywords allow you to see it in ways that you just can't put in the real words as far as sentences and paragraphs and things like that. So I will try to download that or get an image up there where you could print out the major arcana off my website, tarotmaps.com. Go to the downloads page and there's a downloads page there where you can download certain things. And I'll put that up there as something you could download. And also like to mention that the 25th of this month, Tuesday, this is 23rd right now, 24th. So Tuesday coming up is our next tarot Zoom meeting. Go to tarotmaps.com again. Go to the tarot gatherings in the menu, and you can just click right into the Zoom meeting from there. It's 12 o'clock Chicago time, and it goes for a couple hours. And all are welcome. We're just novice or professional, it doesn't make any difference. We just socialize and we talk about tarot cards along with other things, but mostly tarot cards. Anyway, I hope you like this, and keep throwing cards. We'll talk soon.